Hello and welcome to another update video about GALA. So with GALA, we've got two possibilities here still. We are continuing to hold above that green support area. Again, I can only recommend to anyone who entered here or here just to move up your stop loss at least and to break even to take the risk out. Because this could come down, obviously. Yeah, fairly uncertain up here in this situation. We are consolidating, but the way this is shifting, this is shifting towards a possible ascending wedge scenario here, where we could say that this fifth wave is actually going to work out here as some kind of an ending diagonal. That's the first possibility that we have, and that's obviously before we had on the chart here the idea that maybe wave 4 is still ongoing, and that could still be the case, but we had the idea that this could have been an Elliott wave triangle, A, B, C, let me think, then we had the D here and the E here. But with that spike, obviously the triangle was taken out. Well, it broke out into the desired direction, but then came down and we lost the E wave low. Yeah, that just doesn't really, that just doesn't really work anymore as a triangle. So the idea or the reason behind that is that obviously the wave 4 would have to sit here now, and then this would have to be a 1-2 setup, but we came down to low. We basically broke below the beginning of the wave 1 to the upside of the wave 5, yeah, and therefore it's invalidated. It also doesn't really work to move the E wave here, because then I would have to move the D wave here, but the D wave was above the B wave. That doesn't work either. So the only possibility how to keep a triangle still up is to actually make it a massive triangle and do something like this and say the A wave was actually here. This was a massive B wave. This here is a C wave now. There will be a D and an E. I mean, that's still possible. We shouldn't completely rule that out, but it's just, it's getting massive, especially compared to what the wave 2 did down here. So keep that in mind. I mean, again, the view remains that as long as we hold the green support area here, we can focus on higher. And that's at 3.41 cents. Okay, so that's critical. There is further micro support here at 4.3 cents, and then down here at that swing low at 3.67 cents. Until then we can focus on higher, but be aware this is now getting tough, because if this is an ascending wedge or a so-called ending diagonal, this will end at some point and will then break down. Could very well be that such a wave 5 unfolds as an ending diagonal, and that is a 5-wave move. And let me just see, and each of the subwaves is an ABC, so it works to count this as a wave 1, where I told you before this looks very much corrective. Then here the wave 2, this is also a nice 3-wave move, 4 and maybe one more high in a wave 5 of 1. Yeah, and then just be aware that this could be the last wave up. Yeah, we'll observe that, of course. Nobody knows the future. In that case, those targets will not work out most likely, because in an ending diagonal situation, you don't normally adhere to these Fibonacci extension targets so well. Now, what we can do is, if it's an ending diagonal, what would be the target or the maximum? So we take the length of the third wave, because the wave 5 should be shorter than the third wave. So I'm going to give you like the maximum it should do. It should not exceed 6.07 cents. Or 6.069. So it could hit this 38.2 Fib extension on the way up. Yeah, sometimes a last wave of a diagonal in a so-called throw over overshoots the diagonal, and that would be a likely one. Yeah, but obviously it's sort of the maximum it should do, the 6.07 cents. Yeah, interesting. Obviously possible alternatives, as I said, the triangle pattern is still possible. What else? A running flat situation is possible as well, where we had here an A wave. This here would be a massive B wave, and then we came down maybe here in a C wave, in a running flat. And if it depends on what we see now. That's what I mean. You can discuss all kinds of patterns here, and I'm currently in favor of this one very clearly. But there are different patterns that could unfold. I'm not going to rule out we will go down. We will go up further. Obviously, we defined here some targets that would be ideal, and as long as we're holding those support levels, obviously we can still push higher, also in an impulse. But it currently leans itself very much to this ascending wedge formation. Obviously, a sustained breakout above the wedge would indicate that we have started an impulsive fifth wave. And that is not the diagonal, that all of this is some kind of a weird wave 4 correction here, which is still unfolding. So I'll certainly keep you updated about that. I mean, it's holding pretty well in the current sort of short sell-off that we've seen with Ethereum and some altcoins. Not all altcoins did follow, interestingly, but Ethereum and a few altcoins followed, yeah. So yeah, I'll keep you updated about GALA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.